Good evening, good evening. First of all, let us check, have I got my mic on? Can you all hear me? Hold on, I put my volume onto my phone. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, this cough of mine is getting worse. You can probably hear the wee tinniness of the phone here. I'm just checking you can all hear me. Let's see. Yay! Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. I now know I've got volume here. So we've got Facebook. Hopefully we have got YouTube. And then hopefully that's us going. Now, will we have bets on how many times I forget the mute button this evening? Good evening, everyone. Isn't it a wild day? That weather is horrible. I have to admit to being in bed most of the day because I'm still battling this COVID. I'm now on steroids and antibiotics, hoping to get my chest lifted. Make all the smart comments you want with that there. So welcome to us all this evening. Let's have a wee look through who's all here. Adrian McIlvenna's on. Keith Adrian's back from holiday. You weren't caring about the weather last week, were you? Alan McGraw's watching. Jean Kerr, Gordon Kirk, Rodney Hagan, Edward Fellows, Alan Knox, Jackie Boyle, Gordon, Carol Porter, Gillian and Jensen. Good evening. Jensen, Carol, Alan Graydon, Alan Knox, Stephen McKinney. These texts are bouncing all over the place. I'm trying to read them here. Betty Parkinson's on. Jackie Boyle's going on her holiday tomorrow. Aren't you lucky? Anybody know who our first playing tune was? Can anyone guess which band that was? Joan McGraw's on. Hiya, Joan. Naomi is on. Edward Fellows is on. Betty Parkinson is on. Well, we have a packed list for you this evening. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Lisa and I just said, right, okay, normally play about 26 bands in a show. We said we'll just split it. You take 13, I'll take 30. Lisa picked 13. So I suppose the main thing to find out is who's on the 13. So let's go to the first one. The first one is actually one of Lisa's picks. I think... hiya, Finn. Alan's in this week. Muriel's in this week. Guy's in this week. Don Sullivan. Guy Beale guessed that it was Sydenham Blues and Royals. It wasn't. I don't think it's someone we've used at the start of music before. Big Eddie Chambers is here. Eddie Baird is there as well. Penny wants to know is 13 accordions. No, there's not 13 accordions. I think there's only 3, possibly 3 maximum. Lisa, yes. How did you know that? Imperial Blues Paisley is absolutely the right answer. You must have seen it on the screen somewhere. Did I display it on the screen? Eaton Boat Song, Some of the Boys, and Porty Down is the answer to what they were playing. Just a guess. That was brilliant. Well done, Lisa. You know your stuff. Or was it Chris? I'm not too sure who picked the 13 clips. Was it Chris or was it Lisa? Hard to know. Richard Beatty says definitely a Scottish band. You are right indeed. James Fleming in, Gordon Kirk in, Lorraine Addison in a cold London day. I think everywhere's cold tonight, Lorraine. Tim Webb is on. Bob Hutton. My goodness, there's so many of you in. Great to see you all in. Sure, that weather. What else would you be doing? Is atrocious. But here in the heat, we can quite cheerfully sit and watch Ulster Grenadiers. This is one of Lisa's choices. This is them this year at the Royal Landing Parade in 2021. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Really great band there. Lisa and I are both massive fans of the colour of the uniform. Gary Beale says, yeah, sorry, he meant to play the blues and royals. That's okay. Chris knew it straight away, Lisa said. Adrian says that's a band no longer on the road. Are they? They're a very good playing band, absolutely are. Jean Kerr's on, Trevor Higginson, Gordon Kirk on. Robert Goldsmith says, back home now after a good day out in Belfast with an obligatory visit to the Peppercorn Cafe. But did you make the obligatory visit to the Union Jack shop is what we want to know, Robert. Because China had a Black Friday sale on. It must be the same as Black Saturday, only just like a day early. But he had a sale on, so up and support him, up and support him. Good evening, everyone, says Grace from the Fountain in Londonderry. Alan Moorhead is in with us. Kyle Cowden. Lorraine Fleet is in from freezing Lincolnshire. Oh, my goodness. Keith McCormick, good evening. I hear you got a new car today. I got a new car today? I wish. I'm changing the car, thinking of changing the car in the new year. So I'm starting now to plot and plan out what I'm going to get. And I was there was a really, really sexy Lexus. I think it's a Lexus RC 300. Have a wee look. It's a really, really sexy car. But it only has 2 doors. I'm not even sure you could get an accordion in the boot. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing. In my case, that's a bad thing, okay? Some of you might feel differently. But for me, that's a bad thing. And it's only 2 door. There's no way I could get my dad into it because it's so low. It's like a wee sporty type thing. So it's and the interior is cream, and 2 dogs and a cream interior do not work. So we had there the Ulster Grenadiers. Gavin tells us that the current and former members of the Ulster Grenadiers are forming an apprentice boys club in Carrickfergus next year. Oh, brilliant! That seems to be a thing that's really taken off these days. Because Gertrude Starr formed an Orange Lodge a few years ago to, of ex-members and all that kind of stuff. And it is, it's really done extremely well in terms of recruitment and numbers and stuff like that there. And it is great to see. So, China, where are you at? There's an opportunity for you. You could get course size in Orange Lodge ex East Belfast plus current, you've always wanted to be in the Orange China. Is he in yet? Robert Bradley wants to know, Karina, could you put coal on the fire, please? So Robert is obviously sitting with his feet up. So what is the beverage of choice this evening that you're all sitting with there? Is it a nice big cup of tea, a big mug of hot chocolate, alcoholic beverages, or like me, I'm in the Dr. Pepper this evening. Oh, can't see it. What are you having there? My friend was down this evening. I made her hot chocolate. Hopefully enjoyed it. Nicola, are you there? What did you think of your hot chocolate? I've been ranting and raving about this hot chocolate machine that I bought, and she got a wee taste of it today. So, where are we going to go next? Tea, says Edward. Port, says Penny Johnson. Gillian is a mug of Earl Grey. Oh my goodness, all nice warm things so far. Well, have you heated the port, Penny? I'm not sure. So, where are we going to go next? Lisa's next clip. Big fan of this band, so she is, as am I myself. This is Pride of the Raven, playing at the Brannel Parade in 2021. Bride of the Raven playing very well there indeed. Let's see. Adrian McIlvenna is drinking green tea. He says 15 days of drying out in the drink and Tenerife. Lorraine Hunter's hot chocolate with marshmallows. Oh, Lorraine, you can't have hot chocolate any other way. I have to definitely tell you about this wee device. It's like a kettle. And what it is you put the milk in and it froths the milk and heats it at the same time. So I just throw the milk in, a couple of spoonfuls of cocoa powder. It comes out ready to go. It's so frothy. Pour it in a cup, a few marshmallows on top, flake in it. Oh, it's divine. Absolutely divine. Tony Miller. What are you? Tony Miller. Ballykeel better be on tonight, Valerie. Ballykeel and your events is the reason I'm in this state. Avril says, Davy, make her a cup of tea. He's not listening to you. Davy, get up there and make Avril a cup of tea or there will be no accordions. That's it. Going to be no accordions if we don't do that. Bobby Spence says, great band. That's, of course, the Raven. They are indeed. Jagged Boy, very smart band. Absolutely brilliant band. Superb every time, says Brian Goody. Poor Joshua Morris is over at the high school playing a hockey match. He'll be blown away. Go on, there's nothing to him. Go out and get him, Joy. He'll be blown completely away. Jensen's looking for his flutes and drums tonight. Are they on the list? We don't know. Alexander is in a Gale hit Clachmannan. Just been outside his part of my fence is blowing into his field with the trampoline tied to it. I have a patio table and chairs sitting out the front there, and the cover is almost completely off it at the moment. I'm going to have to fix it before I go back into the house. Blow the head of you out there, Mark. It would indeed. We are all glad to be here in the heat. Oh, definitely are. And it's to last to tomorrow night, I think. Well, as long as we have good weather next Saturday for the burning of Lundy, I'll be happy. I just need to get rid of this before it goes. So I'm negative. I'm totally negative. So I've done more lateral flow tests this week and I'm totally negative, but I'm still battling it. But we'll get there. Good evening, Mr. Higginson. That's Brian Higginson, I take it. Brian Emerson has actually got in touch and asked me to remind you all. I had posted earlier on the week, but Ballyrea Silver Band are having an auction tomorrow. They're trying to do a wee bit of fundraising. Fundraising last year was a non-event for virtually every band, so everybody's trying to do extra efforts this year, and they are having an auction on tomorrow, trying to raise a few pounds, and it's at 2 p.m. at Ballyrea Band Hall. Lots of auction items, so get a scoot along there if you're in the area. Evening, boys. Davy McInish. Is that Davy McInish big stuff on the money, Davy McInish? Because I actually had to send someone that video today. That is, of course, my favourite video of all time. It is Gringar's Thistle playing Anzacs, which, of course, we just heard Pride of the Raven playing. Tony Miller says, where's the Roy boy at? Roy, you mustn't have been here last week. Unfortunately, Roy has decided to move on to bigger and better things, probably. But Roy's just stepped back from the virtual band parade, and we wish him all the best. And thank him very much for all of the work that he has done over the past 18 months. It's been invaluable. And but Lisa's still here behind the scenes, helping away and choosing bands. Well, Lisa stroke Chris. Lisa stroke stick man. Penny says, Davy, you are to get up and make Avril a cup of tea. She wants to hear some accordions. Robert says, it's great to be here to complain about the weather. I know. Sure, we have to have something to moan about, don't we, huh? We always have to have something to moan about. Where are we going to go next? Another of Lisa's picks. This one is from the Brian Robinson parade this year. I didn't get up this year. I can't remember what I was doing, but I didn't get up anyway. One of my favourite parades of the year, always. It's a difficult one because sometimes you think people aren't appreciating it for what it's for. Some people just think of it a massive day out in the drink, which it isn't really. When you think of the point of it, it's probably the most commemorated and attended, both in terms of bands and both in terms of the bands and the people spectating of all the memorial parades. But it is, it is obviously in memory of someone. So it's a funny one because I love it as a day out. But also, it's always in the back of my head, that's not what it's meant to be. It's a weird one. So this is Shankill Protestant Boys playing at the Brian Robinson Parade in 2021. perfect. I nearly did it. I just unmuted it at the last second. I'm trying to not leave the mute button on tonight. I don't know how that's going to go, to be honest. Avril says, too right, put him in the black book. Yes, Davey, get that team area. You'll go in the black book for that reason alone. Lisa's, someone asked about how many bands we're hoping to be at the Burn of Lundy. Funny, I was speaking to both the worthy governor and the worthy secretary last week in Ballymena. It's all about who you know. Two of the nicest gentlemen you could ask for, even got me soup and sandwiches after, and I'd like to thank the guys from the Ballymena Club who organised it for inviting me in for soup and sandwiches, because I think they took pity on me from hearing it, to be honest. But they were saying that there's slightly less. Normally they have about 25, 26 bands at the Burn of Lundy, but this year there's about 21, 22, or that's what they're expecting anyway. Lisa is totally right there in what she says, either Lisa or Chris. Some of you are going to have to get separate accounts, you guys, so I know who's talking. Also saying that the band's looking well in a brand new uniform. I thought that was a new uniform, the Shankill Protestant boys. Was that their first time out in it, Lisa? Was that their first appearance? Mark Brown says, great pace, they do indeed. Irvine wants to know, could I say hello to Carl and what about the Lisburn Young Defenders? Are you requesting them as been played? I'm not sure if they're on the list tonight. You'll just have to wait and see. Now, what was I going to say? I think next Friday night, we'll do a viewer's requests. How does that work? Because there's been a few bands people mentioned in it. It's so hard. There are so many bands and so many good bands. And even this morning when I was picking clips for tonight, I was going through this. Oh, they're a brilliant band. Why do we not have them on more? And then they're a brilliant band. Why have we not them on more? Because there is just so many good bands, and you tend to, for want of a better word, are any of the Muskehounds in, first of all? Speak now, forever hold your peace. But you tend to go for the ones who shout loudest. Just to get peace. But, no, there's just so many good bands. So, it's difficult to cover them all, because to be quite honest, you forget about them. So I thought, well, maybe do viewers requests maybe once a month or so over the next few months, just to make sure that you all guys get a say. But it's 26 bands in the night, so you need to be in quick. So keep an eye on Monday for the post going up, for the requests. Jensen has requested Flutes and Drumsticks Week, and he's very loud. Good for you, Jensen. Put it on the list. Get your mum to watch and make sure you're first on that list. It's only requests that go on the list who count. And that don't private message me, put them on the main list so that everybody can see and it's open. Everybody knows there's no cheating involved whatsoever. As if I would cheat. First accordion band of the night. If you want to refresh your beverages at this point in time, take a toilet break. I'm just warning you in advance. But I think if you did that there, see, Avril, tea has arrived, now an accordion band. How's that? Huh? It's like I'm there in your living room, which is a bit freaky. So this is Albert Bridge Accordion Band, and playing extremely well here at Reformation Sunday in East Belfast. Albert Bridge there on with Ballymena, District number 5. Penny Johnson just went sigh. I'm guessing that that's another one of those tunes on your non-liked list, Penny. Someday I'm going to play an accordion tune that you like. Someday we're going to manage it. Tony Miller says, okay, away to the toilet back in 5 minutes. My goodness. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. David Sharon says, evening everyone, a bit late tonight. You had your note in, David. Where is the note? Where is the note? Gillian Douglas Ray says, Black Book evening. Yes. Many more comments about accordion bands, and you're going in the book. It's sitting, waiting, ready for you. It is. It's terrible that I have to resort to that. Good Play Me accordion band, so they are been going about a long time. Sorry, Brian won't be there tomorrow because a lot of silver bands are playing at Gregorian Day and Armagh, says Mo. Oh, definitely a few videos from that, Mo, if you fancy it, if you feel up to it. Good evening for Andy Dalton from Andy Dalton and the SCDFB, and have some of the Stonyburn Crown Defenders on next week. Get in quickly when we put the list up. That's the way it works. First come, first served. Oh my goodness. Squeeze Books but should be in the Black Book, Valerie, as my mum is in Dunloy. Squeeze Books will never be in the Black Book. And David Val, he hates accordions, but he did make you a cup of tea, Avril. So, he's staying out of it. Now, we're moving next to a Scottish band. However, they are performing at a parade here in Belfast. It is Bridgeton Loyalists, and they're taking part in the Glen Branagh 20th Anniversary Memorial Parade. And it was actually the occasion where Light of Foot, which that we're all involved in, is recently got, because they're always trying to add to their edition of equipment that is available to marching bands to borrow, to raise the awareness of mental health, because that's what it's all about. And they recently added Banneret to their edition. Absolutely superb looking Banneret. And this parade was actually the first event that it was carried by one of the bands. I don't think it's Bridgeton Loyalists, but I know that I think it was actually the host band from memory. Sorry, I have a memory like myself. But this is from that parade a way back in, I think it was September. Honest to goodness, I'm just such a font of no information this evening. Bridgeton Loyalists there. Thank goodness for Lisa. As Gillian says, it's just as well you're here. Tigers Bay First Flute was the band who cried it, and the parade was on the 16th of October. So there you go. Absolutely useless here. It's just, and the sad thing about it is I'm sitting here in a room giggling to myself. That's really, I don't know, I think it's the drugs. Alan Finlay says, if you let me pick in advance for next week, I promise to pick an accordion band. That's tempting. It's tempting, I have to say. I'll have to think about that, Alan. Because, I mean, that it would be a turn up for the books. It really would. You picking an accordion band? I think there'd be a blue moon in the sky. Alan Weir also agrees it was Tigers Bay who carried the banneret. Did indeed. And it looks super with him. And I think, if I remember right, it was a relative of the young fellow who carried the banneret. I think someone told me that. I'm always weary about saying things now because the band still is in existence and I put them off the road, and you know, the usual litany of misinformation I managed to spread. Steve McKinney says, hope you're feeling better. I'm not too bad, Stephen. I'm definitely better than I was. I'm still not completely over it. You can hear it kind of in my voice, and because I'm asthmatic, it's in my chest. So the steroids and antibiotics finished today. So I'm kind of hoping that will get me over the last of it and that I can get back to work next week, I hope. Now, where are we going? I saw that Tilly is in this evening. I saw that Tilly is in. Of course, she is accompanied by Reggie. So Reggie's in as well. And you would almost think that he had timed this absolutely perfectly. Timing there, Reggie. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing yourself. Devil says, Reggie and myself, a dream team in the hill. I can just imagine the chaos that you two created. That's all I can say, because it's bound to have been madness with you two. Tommy wants to know, is that me in the cymbals? Tommy, if I was in the cymbals, they will be below the knee and behind the back. The whole works. Excuse me. Beautiful uncle's birthday, Uncle Sam, tomorrow, who listens with me faithfully every week. Oh, Uncle Sam, we absolutely have to get your birthday in the book, so I'll get that written down during the next tune. A lot of you commenting on the young people in the bands. Absolutely, it's the one thing I noticed about the Kilkeel bands, from looking at various clips, that they always have a great array of youth in the ranks, which is fantastic to see, and is definitely something that we all need to take a note of and get the youth. It's a really difficult one, because there just seems to be, particularly in very Protestant villages as well, it seems to be a real lack of interest from the youth for some reason. I mean, I don't know about all you guys, but I had some of the best experiences of my life through marching bands, and hopefully many, many more to come. But it's, you know, how do you get the kids involved again? Funny, as you all know, I give off about it often enough. I may have mentioned it a dozen times before, but my son has no interest in bands now. I got 11 years out of him when Ballyrashane, from he was 2.5 up. But now it's like, you know, it's not trendy. It's not trendy to be in a band. And I said, we were talking about it one day, and I said, like, how many kids? So he's at Dunluce Secondary School. And I says, like, how many kids are in your year? And there was like 2 classes, maybe about 60 kids in their year. And I said, well, you know, are there any of them in bands? Nope. Are there any of them in junior lodges or anything like that there? No. And I mean, there's a full year of 16-year-olds that are just missing out, you know. And it's a tough one, but it's absolutely something that we do need to figure out how to crack. But moving on, I think someone mentioned this band earlier on. It's another one of Lisa's picks. Great pick, Lisa. It's another one of hers. This is Shankill Sons of Ulster, playing at the Brian Robinson Parade. Superb there from Sons of Ulster. Good picking there, Lisa. And I'm sure you saw Neil at the side of the road there, doing his usual video as well. Was that Relentless from that clip? I can't remember. It was either Relentless or Lisa, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Lisa says, thank you. I was going to ask this. Thank you for giving the information. Absolute fighting of information, these two. Retro uniform as a band or celebrating the band's 50th anniversary. Oh, lovely. Jensen is in a year of 82 kids in Dundonald and is the only one in a band or lodge. And that's Dundonald. That's scary. That is scary. I wonder, if it was something that always, when I was involved with the Confederation of Ulster Bands, it was something we tried to do. Because and it worked in some areas, but not others. The Education Authority haven't the money to push music outside of school hours, and after school classes. And a couple of the bands forums actually offered to send in tutors for after school hours. They devised up programs. There is actually an OCN in the B flat flute that you can do as an exam qualification. And you'd have thought a sensible education school board would have kind of went, yes, this is a qualification that we can offer our kids. That's not going to cost us anything, and will increase our school kudos and reports and all that sort of stuff. But it was really hard to get the schools to buy into it. And I sometimes wonder and think, if we could manage to get in that way, would that maybe encourage the kids who are in the school to then join bands? I don't know. It's a very difficult route to go down. Very difficult route to go down. Sorry, getting all serious on you. Getting all serious. Night like that. It's too cold and wet and windy to be serious. Let's see. Steve McKinney says, brilliant band. A couple of birthdays, which I've got noted down. And lots of comments about Kilkeel weather coming in there. Joy says that she sometimes thinks Kilkeel silver are turning into a blood and thunder silver. That is probably your influence, Devil. Definitely would be. Now, for all you part music flute band fans out there this evening, we have a brilliant clip here from Newtonard's Black Saturday. And this is Cahard Flute Band from Saintfield. superb there from Cahard. A couple of comments there. Karina says a young band, absolutely brilliant. Actually, seeing the young kids in that style of band, it's unusual. The accordion effects is Eddie walking into each other. Done that a few times. Yep. Have indeed. A very wet day there in Newton Ards. Absolutely soaking. Did you get wet that day as well, Philip? Because it looks to have been a very dreich day. And the wee guy on the triangle walking behind the band, he'd just given up the ghost at that point. God love him. Let's see, a couple of great comments there coming in with regards to bands and schools and all that kind of stuff. Flute Band Church works with one of the Portadown schools with 12+ primary 7 kids now coming to tuition each week. That's brilliant. There's definitely small pockets of activity, but it seems to be when the bands people drive it that it works. You know, it kind of makes sense for the school, because I mean that's a qualification that they can offer their kids, particularly in schools where, you know, they're not academically minded, they're more, you know, hairdressing, electrician, that kind of, you know, but it's still another option. Too many kids interested in integrated education and don't give a fiddlers. You're right, Robert. It's all about, you know, sometimes I think the biggest danger to marching bands is actually middle class prods than it is anybody else. Penny says that to do a grade 8 in the accordion you have to go to England to do the exam. Do you? Seriously? Didn't know that. Oh well, there's why I'm not doing my grade 8. I've never done any grades in the accordion. It's an idea. Bands need to be doing things to interest kids, said Eddie. Get them in. What that is he doesn't know, and he knows from his own long lad he was in us, but always wanted to be in a Blood and Thunder band. I'm the same Eddie, I actually got to the stage where I was saying to Mason, look, join any band, join a Blood and Thunder band if you want. Just join a band, you know, just be in a band. I actually was at the stage of going, look, you know, you're at your teenage years now, you're going to be wanting to take a wee drink and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you're on the band bus, I don't mind if you have a wee can of beer. That's how desperate I was. Jackie Boyle, I have got your birthday in. Davy, your picture said he used to go into Portadown Primary School with Flute Band Church to teach the flute. They still do it, but he's too busy with work. Again, it's the same with marching bands. And I also find that the people who are really heavily involved in marching bands are also the people who are heavily involved in Orange and the Black and the Apprentice Boys and community associations and all that kind of stuff. They're just really, really busy people. They should make it compulsory like national service was. I agree, Adrian. I totally agree. Alan Finlay says George Dallas brings the kids along in Limavady High, and that's when my life ended because the flute was swapped for a noise band, which is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know, I love to hear of them. Carl says she knows for a fact that there are tutors going into school around Omagh, and unfortunately not always welcomed. Yeah, and probably in the maintains, or not the Catholic maintained sector, but state schools. I can remember talking to David Scott one time from Schomburg House, and they say they have no problem getting Catholic maintained sector schools to visit, but they cannot get state sector schools to visit. Weird, absolutely weird. Let's see. Compulsory, yes, we've covered that. The accordion effect, yeah, got that. Omagh True Blues take on members who want to read music, learnt by top music instructor in Orange Hall every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. So get off your PlayStations. They haven't the interest, Raymond. They haven't the interest. Mason is doing his GCSE music purely because I insisted they did. And he has no inclination to practice, and his mock exam is in like 2 weeks, and he hasn't even started his performance. It's going to be a nightmare. Him and I are going to fall out constantly for the next 2 weeks. It's just going to be World War III in this house. So George White has started up the Junior Jaffas, which is a fantastic idea, absolutely fantastic, and I think it might work in the community. So what they have done, and I would love to see more bands doing this, is they have open air practices in like the village green or in one of the estates or something like that during the summer, and they invite kids to come along and play along with them. And it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think it's such a fantastic idea. So, you know, I'd love to see more kids doing that. Omagh True Blues, I would imagine, if that's what you're asking about, Penny, that'll definitely be the flute, I would imagine. Somebody was saying about loving the selection of picks this evening. I have to give total credit to Lisa. These are all her picks. Hers are the first lot, mine's are the second lot. So if you want to complain, you know to complain about the second lot. But yes, absolutely brilliant range of clips so far from Lisa. And I know you're going to love her next one, because I know that most of you are a huge fan of this band. Myself included. I don't think they really need any introduction. Instantly recognisable, of course, it is William King Memorial, and that was them playing at the localised parade in Londonderry for the opening of the Gates celebration in August. Excuse me. So superb as always, and lots of you just... Rebecca Huckle says it's one of her favourites. She just loves this band. Stephen McKinney says absolutely brilliant. Lots of positive, brilliant band. I'd say the best Northern Ireland, says Eddie. That is high praise indeed coming from you. Brian Goody says best band on the planet, bar none. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really super band. But they put the work in. They do. They keep the slog going. And again, I have this theory. If you look at really Protestant towns like Bushmills, Portrush, places like that there, they struggle. They have a band. Places who have difficulty, they like Accordion, Armagh, places like that there, Londonderry, look at the bands that they can produce. I think there's something about the whole, backs to the wall type spirit. Grace is saying that her grandson Tyler on the cymbals doing a fantastic job as well, because the cymbals is crucial in that piece of music, and not everyone could get it. He did extremely well. Harry has joined us this evening. He says, Valerie, can I thank you for the tribute paid for my wife Anne last week? It's much appreciated. Very least that we could do, Harry. We were all thinking of you over here, and glad to see you've got family and all around you, and the cafe's back open and the grandsons are in getting fed again. So we're all thinking of you, and it's a difficult time, absolutely difficult time. And what I think I'm going to do, we did the tribute last week to Harry's wife, who sadly passed away, and also someone who passed away within kind of the same time frame. Just let me get the details up, apologies, is a gentleman that many people here locally will know very well. And because I did the tribute for Anne last week, a lady got in touch asking me if I could do a tribute to this gentleman. I knew him very well. He passed away last Wednesday after an 8-month battle with cancer, and it was a gentleman, Mickey Wiggins. Mickey, many people, particularly around this area, knew him because he was in all the Loyal Orders. He regularly featured as a parade marshal, and during his cancer treatment, he was known to leave the hospital from getting a treatment and heading straight to marshal a parade. What you'll actually see, I've got a picture of him up on the screen, the next screen here, where you actually see him marshalling a parade in his powered chair. He never absolutely missed. Loyalty, which sadly not many hold these days. So it's just a nice way to remember him for his loyalty to the orders and band scene, and it's a tribute to pass on our sympathies to his wife Annette and son Robert. Mickey, of course, adored Sons of Ulster Portrush, so there's no more fitting a clip for him for our tribute to him than one from them. This is from actually Ballykeel's concert a couple of weeks ago, and just as a wee light touch in the middle of it, you may recognise one of the faces. Just a wee bit, just a wee bit. So our thoughts are with Mickey's family, wife Annette, and son as well there after his bereavement. I was very, very sorry to hear that he had passed away. Avril very kindly has said if any bands need anything advertised in regards to recruitment or members of advertising of any nature, post it on Loyalist photography page. Lisa does the same, and of course when you send stuff to myself, we always get it on Ulster Bands Forum as well. More than happy to do so. That is what Ulster Bands Forum is about. It's about promoting marching bands and continuing to keep them at the forefront of everybody's mind. I think I'm approaching, let me just check, I happened to notice the other day we have think it's 36,000, almost 36,000 followers at the moment, which, you know, is great to see, and long may it continue, because it always gets a really good coverage for marching bands when we put them on. So it's great that we've built up that audience. So I'm always very wary of, you know, being targeted by trolls and so on, just in case they're trying to get us put off. But so far, fingers crossed. Staranoka has a beginner general accordion classes every Monday night, which will be opening up soon should we get the numbers. Drummers are included, and it's currently as part of a grant scheme, absolutely. Ken also had posted earlier on that he sat in with Castlegore Amateur Flute playing Rodrigo's Concerto de Nah, there's no way I'm going to manage to read that. There. I let you all see it on the screen. Concerto de Arenoise. Original guitar for a new recording. Were you playing the guitar in it, Ken? Is that what you were doing? Their new recording they're making from the film Brastoff. What a fantastic sound. Watch this space. Definitely. When that becomes available for listening or watching to or whatever, let us know, because I'm sure that it'll be something different, especially if it's a guitar in it. It'd be really, really good. Excuse me. A few more comments really about, you know, middle class prods not wanting to know. It's as if they don't want to offend anybody. You know, and they won't even put a flag outside the house because they don't want to offend anybody. And I mean, it's the whole, you can see it with the whole celebration of the Northern Ireland centenary. You know, nobody wants to do it in case they offend anybody. What? What is going on there? It is crazy. Jensen is leaving us. Ach, Jensen, are you for bed? Ach, no. Well, I suppose you have a big football stardom tomorrow. Good night, Jensen, and we will talk to you again next week. So make sure your mum gets your favoured clip in really, really quickly. Now, another one of Lisa's clips. She's been doing so well this evening. This is Pride of the Shore. I know that a few of you had asked, or someone had definitely asked for Pride of the Shore earlier on. This is them playing from the Glenbrana Anniversary Parade, 20th Anniversary Memorial Parade. Another great clip from Lisa. Superb there from Pride of the Shore. Really good clip pick there. Jackie says John Yates is doing something on the 4th of next. Is it the 4th or the 18th, Jackie? I'm almost sure it's the 18th, and it's up in Stormount. It's for the NI centenary, and looking for as many people to go along as possible. So if you're free, I'm almost sure I put a post up about it. If I haven't, then I have it waiting to go up. Another band, Lisa, no, is it Lisa or Chris? Tell us who said that. Is another band you could walk along to all day. Fantastic band. It's Sons of Ulster, or Pride of the Shore, sorry. Sure. Ken says that no, he listened to one of the best soul concert players I've ever heard with superb backing from the band. He only wishes he could play at the guitar. I can get the basic chords of guitar, G, C, that kind of stuff, you know, but anything more complicated than that, you know, once you're starting to get into the minors and the augmented sevens, nah, can't do. I could do a D7s, but that's about it. William Lavery is watching in a very, very windy home in Wallyford, East Lothian. So great to have you aboard with us. I think it's one day everywhere, William. It's a really, 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 really strange night. I just had a wee glimpse at the time there. It's 9:05. We have a load more clips to get through. We're only on our 11th clip. So let's talk on more clips. Right, this is a masked accordion band. Now, those of you who don't like accordion bands, stay and watch this because first of all, it's brilliant. It's really lively. It's a masked accordion band, I believe, from looking at it, there's Knock Lochram in there. I think there is possibly Lista Grot. I think there is also Desert Martin. There's a load of the accordion bands in here. So it's a really, really good tune. I love these type of old 4-part harmony tunes that they're playing. And secondly, I don't know if any of you were watching one night when I was live from Garva, and I was flabbergasted that walking in the middle of the front of a band was a girl playing her accordion upside down. And I watched and watched and watched, and whenever they come back again, I was able to establish that it's not adjusted. She is literally, when the rest of the keyboard players are going down the keyboard, she's coming up. And she's in the front row of this clip. And if you watch her bellows are going exactly the same as the person beside her. So that is a second bit of proof that she's, it's not an adjusted accordion. It is literally upside down. How she is doing it, I do not know. I have no idea. If anybody can figure it out, tell me, because it just blows my mind. Blown. Eddie says that she left-handed, a bit like some flutes playing flute the opposite way around. Accordion can only go upside down. That is correct. That's all you can do with them. You can get them retuned and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm guessing it is because she's left-handed. But in all my years around accordions and accordion bands, I've never seen anyone playing one upside down. Never. And it freaks me out because naturally, it's like the flute. Naturally, when you're coming up the scale, right, your fingers are coming up. But you imagine in your head, you're coming up the scale in terms of notes, but you're going down the scale in terms of the flutes and the finger. It just blows my mind completely. Absolutely completely. Now, moving into some of my clips, isn't it? This next one is mine. Couple of crossovers still with Lisa's to come. But this next one is mine. This is, Pride. Can someone please identify this lady and get her to explain how she's playing it? I don't think actually that even her explaining it will, will get into my head. I really don't think that it will. Like, my head can cope with changing from piano keyed to chromatic to diatonic, right? So we were at practice on Monday night, and normally I play piano keyed, as you all know, but on the road I play the chromatic, and then we were low on basses, so I swapped into the basses on Monday night and played a 2.5 row, right? So those are 3 distinct shifts in thought. But again, going upside down is just one beyond me. I'm just totally amazed. If somebody knows her, tell her to get in touch. Going to get yours to try it. Oh my goodness, it's mental. Yes, this next clip is mine. It is from Londonderry. It's from the 330th anniversary parade, the Relief in Derry in 2019. And it's a band, another one of these great bands that we don't have on here often enough. It is Pride of the Orange and Blue. Superb there, and the wee toot on the triangle in the middle there, absolutely brilliant. Dark Valley, Dawn, I think you're actually right. I think that's what it was called, because it was sitting there, I think, boy, and then the minute you said Dark Valley, then, there'll be no Dark Valley, dee-dee-dee-dee. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think it was a Dark Valley. Tommy Cheeky Robinson is in this evening. Hiya, hope you are keeping well. I am doing not too bad. I am getting there. COVID is kicking my ass, but it's fighting back. It need to be better for next weekend. Davy Logan says, sounded fantastic. Jackie Boyd, very smart band. Lad back in the 60s, Sid Edward, who played Upside Down, Don't Ask Me How. My next goal is to learn a concertina, I have to say. Yes, definitely is. Now, time. Yeah, the wee guy in the pipe and the triangle's cute as mustard, wasn't he? Doing his very best to keep marking time. Love seeing kids in bands. Now, time for a little bit of the pipes. Or the agony bags. This is Lisa's choice. I'm not calling them agony bags. Some of you do, but I'm not. This is Lisa's choice. It is Edenderry Pipe Band, playing a band that we don't have on very often, but we should have them on more. We really should. I wonder, should I increase the numbers of pipe bands that we play? We never play one pipe band a night. Do you think should we play more? While you're making up your minds, have a little listen to the Edenderry Pipe Band from this year at Blair Memorial. Stevie says there should be at least 3 pipe bands a night. Boston Gurden, Stevie. I've paid 3 pipe bands a night. 3 pipe bands and 1 accordion, says Stevie Pritchard. Oi! Oi! There's enough of that. Enough of that. Do you know what I'm just noticing? I forgot to say, actually, after I played it, the clip we played there, Sons of Ulster, Portrush, did any of you notice the guy who was coming up to the camera with a can of Coke? That was our China. And I'm just sitting thinking, he mustn't be in this evening because he hasn't commented, hasn't said anything. The heat in that hall was unbelievable. It was really, really warm. And there he's running about, with a coat on, the headband. But so with Black Friday today, he's either open late to get as many people in the doors as he can for his Black Friday sale, or he made so much money he's still counting it at this time. I don't know which one it is. Now, I think this is the last of Lisa's. Amanda says she's late arriving to the party this evening and already had to hit the mute. That's terrible. You just came in at the wrong time, Amanda. I think this one is the last of Lisa's clips, so we're about halfway through, and it's 20 past, so we need to get a few more done. This is the Loyal Flute Band playing at the first Raven Somme Society Memorial Parade on Remembrance Day. Yep, thank you. Look, I was doing so well. I was doing so well. Thank you all for letting me know. There's a delay between me and then you guys hearing it. I think it's about 15-20 seconds. So that's why it takes that minute for me to start seeing your messages. So thank you all. I was doing so well. That's the first time tonight. Now, what were we saying? What was I saying? I'm trying to think what I said so that I can repeat it. I can't remember. Lindy Cole said that she missed the pipes, be nice and play them again. And I said, Lindy, you're going to get me shot, that I like my kneecaps the way they are. And then I waffled on about something else. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to go Keel again. Sticker is there. I have it attached to a thing, a hand cream to make sure that I never miss it. We're going to go to Keel, and this just proves exactly what I was saying earlier on about the number of youth in the bands of Keel. They have a complete percussion section here. This is Ballymena Accordion playing at the Rodden Accordions Parade in 2021. Take a look at the number of cymbals and triangles there are here. Isn't that fantastic? Wasn't that brilliant seeing all those wee kids? When you actually take those numbers like four in a row, that's 3 rows. 3 rows there on triangles and symbols, and hopefully they stick at it. Joshua Morris, of course, was in there. Is he in yet? Has he finished playing hockey? Is he with us, or has he been blown away completely? And we can see that China is in as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You missed yourself. You missed yourself. You were on earlier on. You were on the clip there and you missed it. My goodness. So how did your Black Friday sale go? Hopefully you got a lot of people in through the doors, and it was actually, for China, it was actually a genuine sale. There was lots of really great offers all. And I see he's also branched into the Santa business and now has Santa plates and, for the reindeers and treats and mugs and all that kind for Santa for below the tree. So if you're looking for something like that for one of your kids, you know where to go. Lots of people saying about how well, how great it is to see all the kids in the band. What a great way to get them into the band, learn a beat. Brilliant to see one of the youngsters, important for the kids to start in the symbols or triangle. Absolutely, totally agree. Lindy's want to know, will I be at Lundy's Day next week? God willing, Lindy, I hopefully will. Played brilliantly. More accordions like this, please, said Kathy Gardner. Kathy, you're my type of woman. Absolutely. Let's move to Lisa's last clip of this evening, and then it's in their mind. So you know before you even hear them that there's going to be something weird thrown on there. I just like exposing you to different things. How's that? Exposing you to different things. Lisa has gone for that old favourite, White Rock. You just can't go beyond them at times, can you? This is them at the District Number 9 Parade in 2021. They just really engage the crowd, don't they? They just look to be having so much of a fun time that like you can't help but smile when you see them. You can't help but smile. Joshua is in. He said it was just a wee sea breeze. There's not exactly a lot to anchor you there, Joshua. If you had my weight behind you, you wouldn't be blown far. Lost the game too. Oh my goodness. They do have a bit of following. That's White Rock. Alan Finlay says, no, that's swagger. I know. Like anybody else, that style would probably look daft on, but because the whole package, the plumes, the drumming style, all of that, it just works. Just works. Now, that was the last of Lisa's clips, so now come the weird ones. Well, weird but fun, I hope. The next one, it's just one that I couldn't go past. I found this a couple of weeks ago. It's from 2008, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it when I saw the date. 2008. It is a clip of Black Skull. And we feature a lot of the times, the military bands, particularly the Royal Marines with their drum solos. We have equally as good among our ranks. From what I could see, that was pretty darn well, nearly flawless. I noticed one wee blip, just one tiny one, but that was superb. You know, like, you talk about your top secret drum corps, you have your Royal Marines, all you guys. That could easily sit in the same company. Absolutely superb. Now, keep your birthdays coming in. We're going to play a couple more clips and then do the birthdays. I've got 4 or 5 in there already in the book, so keep them coming in. Just put them in the comments. I picked the next clip. It's Pride of the Maine, but it's Pride of the Maine with a slightly different sound. And I came across it purely by accident. And whenever I listened to it, I went, wow, it just shows to go the quality. If Pride of the Maine wanted to, they could quite easily turn melody and give many of the existing melody bands a run for their money. Have a listen to this. This is them playing in 2018 at Derry Lorne's 50th anniversary. And if you just thought of them as just a blood and thunder band, I think you'll be suitably impressed. Wasn't that amazing? Absolutely brilliant. It just goes to show the talent that there is there. Set a low tension snare drums in there, and that's a decent, middle of the road, or middle of the sort of like the things melody bands. Lisa says she can always say that the Pride of the Maine have one of the best flute corps in the country. They certainly do. You can hear it there in that clip. They are absolutely superb. I was really, really impressed listening to that there. Now, next up is a silver band, and I happened to find this one. It's only recently posted, maybe about a month ago, and I thought, yeah, really like this clip. I'd found it a few weeks ago, and it didn't fit into the show or whatever it was, I think, at that time, but I thought this is a good one. Gavin says Pride of the Maine played lots of melody marches back in the 1980s. Queen of the Ball, etc. Always had a strong flute corps, as good as anyone. Certainly are. They could give many of the existing melody flute bands a wee run for their money. And is there a melody flute band in Ballymena? I don't think so. There is maybe an avenue for them. This is Tamna Silver Band playing at Ballyronan Marina. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Something very, very suspect about the timing of these Muskehounds. So you had John and Stephen has just joined, and I would say not much longer you'll find our Eddie. What have you three been up to? Why am I always suspicious of you guys? David Smith asked him what the tune was. Kenilworth, as Alan Knox said, it was Tamna Moore Silver playing his favourite march, Kenilworth. And Lisa is keep me right. There is, of course, two melody bands in Ballymena, Bally and the Ballymena Corps of Drums. Let's blame the drugs. Will we do that? We'll blame the drugs. Just say it's the drugs. Now, we surprise melody clip for you. Again, I just love coming across, I just love coming across clips and, you know, like that we maybe haven't seen before. And I really loved this one. See who could recognise who this band is playing in Ballymena Town Hall in 1999. Wasn't that superb? Now, I have to admit, I'm not 100% certain what band it is myself. Because it didn't say in the YouTube clip. My first initial instinct was absolutely Ballymena Defenders. So, yes, I think it is. But the very fact, maybe it's just the fact it's an old video, but the uniforms, I know that they had green uniforms, which are very, 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 very similar to that, because I remember seeing them on one of the TV programmes with the kind of like pillbox hats. But it was the fact that it looks blue in the video rather than green. So I think it is, but I'm not 100% certain. Amanda says, Eddie's, is he not at an Ulster Scots even in Ballyhalbert? Eddie usually has a band practice on Friday night. So I'm not sure. I didn't see that he posted anything about that there. I did see that he posted a photograph of his massive great big fry. Was it this morning or yesterday morning? And it put me in the real notion for a big fry. It really did. Now, what sort of time are we looking at? We're looking at 10:02. Oh my goodness. 10:02, and we have how many minutes of clips left? Let's see. 13 minutes of clips. So we're going to be overrunning. Stay with us. Stay with us. Penny says if Flute Bands played more music like this, she'd listen to them more often. Eddie is making another show about Donegal. Of course, of course. what is it, Hope Street or something you call it? The new Donaghadee, making them all famous down there. I will not be surprised if some night I watch an episode. I didn't watch the first one, but I maybe get watching them. Don't be surprised if in some episode you look and there are the three Muskehounds standing in the background. Now, no more birthdays come in, so let's do the birthdays now, just the 4 this evening. So he may be your Uncle Sam, Stevie, but he also is our Uncle Sam. We have adopted him now. So Uncle Sam, a very happy birthday to you for tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful day. Also celebrating their birthday tomorrow is Robert Newell, and that comes from your brother Raymond. Jackie Boyle's granddaughter is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. She'll be 19, if my notes is right. Either that or it's on the 19th. No, I think she's 19. And Alan and Sonia Muirhead are celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary on Monday. Sonia, there has to be a medal in the post for you. Absolutely, because that's worse than a life sentence with Alan of all people. Your birthday is not complete and your wedding anniversary is not complete without the serenade from the Muskehounds.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the Forum. Happy birthday to you.
Stephen says he never gets listening to the hounds. That is one of the Muskehounds saying they never get fed up listening to. Happy birthday to you all and happy wedding anniversary to Alan and Sonia. Keith says it was definitely Ballymena Defenders. Thank you, Keith. I can now put that name into my list so that I know that I've played them. Now, time for another little part music flute band. This is the Flute Band Association Mass Band. So in 2019 they took part in the Lord Mayor Show in London, and as part of that for obviously all the rehearsals and that they formed a massed band among the Flute Band Association members. This is a short clip of them from 2019, the pre-parade entertainment down in Ballymena there for Dunloy's Parade. quite a few bands represented in there, in among the Flute Band Association Mass Band. Interesting arrangement. Totally. Ken sounded really, really well. It actually worked well together. Few places that the drummers weren't too sure of what exactly was going on, but they kept going, got through it, which is what you have to do in live performances. Moving on now, it's time for another Blood and Thunder to keep all you Blood and Thunder fans happy. I have to say that I was just sitting thinking that it's when you think about it, right? Blood and Thunder covers a massive range of different styles, you know. So you had the Pride of the Mains and their style of Blood and Thunder. You had the Sons of Ulster, their style. You had Bridgeton Loyalists, their style. Ulster Grenadiers, their style. I mean, even tonight we've covered so many different styles of Blood and Thunder bands. And here's another one. When I think of Blood and Thunder, this is the style that I think of. This is Downshire Guiding Star at their own parade earlier this year. Oh, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. Let's see if I can get it to go. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Technical issues. Reload. Here we go. Hopefully this will be me now. Sorry, just fixing the clip. Worth the wait there, definitely. China carrying the sword. Yes, I saw Lisa's stickman on the far side in the pavement. China carrying the sword. Leave him alone. He's had a tough day. Tough day. Prod bars are blacklisted this series. No, they're not. They're not. Definitely not. No blacklisted bands. I'm just trying to play more variation. Speaking of which, another accordion band. It's our final accordion band of this evening, and I think you'll enjoy them. One of our regular viewers, Jenny McAllister, is a member, and this is Craigany Accordion, playing at Black's concert in 2019. pausing that there for those of you that aren't aware. I was trying to do it on the screen. This is our Jenny here, band mistress of Craigany, and does a fantastic job making making them out. Let's see. So Glenn's 1-3-0 feeling. Oh my goodness. Repeat that sometimes. Look, you have to have the number of verses in it. Fields of Ulster. JD used to do the Downshire Guiding Star Disco in the Orange Hall, and JD's had no heating. You commented earlier, you've had no heating for a few days. He's considering bringing the hot tub into the house. Not a bad idea. China, why are you considering growing a ponytail? Please explain the thinking. Behind that. Now, this next clip, I love this next clip. And again, it's one of these bands, the minute I find a clip of them, I go, oh, why do we not have these guys more often? They are a highly, highly underrated band. I think they're superb. I think it's because they're small in numbers. For some reason, small in numbers seems to mean that bands are overlooked. Listen to the quality of this next band. This is the City of Belfast Fifes and Drums playing at Ypres Square outside the Flanders Field Museum a way back, I think it's 2016. Absolutely superb rendition of Escape to Victory. End it very abruptly there, but absolutely superb. Wayne Kerr recording in the background, says JD. Yep, saw him there. Great tune, says Davy Logan, loves it. Stephen Feely wants to know, is the 3 bands on before the end of the year? Of course they will. And next week, you missed it, next week we're going to have viewers' requests, so keep an eye for the clip and excuse me, put your band in there. That's the easy way to get them on. Absolutely no problem. Stephen Feely and Eddie are usually like first in. Joshua. Sometimes Joshua gets in first. Ken Stewart says bassist Tony Band is a bass drummer. Very, very good band. Very good, very good. And band super. The bass drummer there was immense. Absolutely immense. Mark Heaney says that he's looking forward to getting on the march from there to the Meningate next June. Yay! I know. I'm hoping to be there at the same time. was talking on the messenger the other evening, and I'm going to be there at the same time along with yourselves, and all the isn't it the 1690 Lodge? I think that's all there. Looking forward to it. It should be a really, really good event. Now, just the two more bands left, okay? So stick with me. Absolutely stick with me. Just the two more. Stephen had said earlier on that as Christmas is approaching fast, a lot of Christmas stuff for accordion, says Ken. Is that as in terms of music arrangements? That's very kind of you, Ken. Absolutely. Aston was shutting of the Gates parade next weekend. I'm going, but it's my night off. Day off. Someone said earlier on they were coming over, they were joking about the fact that they they were joking about the fact that they wanted to get an autograph. Like, you'll not even recognise me. I'll have so many layers of hats and gloves and scarves and coats and everything on. Nobody will recognise me. It'll be great. Carl Robinson said he was stood next to him in the plane. I was there too, Carl. I was there in that vicinity. I've my own version of that, but it's not as good a video as that one. Two more bands left. As always, something a little different. This is the US Army Old Guard fife and drum bands with the Middlesex County Volunteers. Absolutely superb. I love those style of bands purely because they make me think so much of that's probably how our bands started out. Probably very similar to something like that there. A few ones saying about looking for me with the shopping trolley next week. No, shopping trolley doesn't make an appearance next week at all. It's just kept for August. It is not taking down time out there. The hail is thumping off the windows of this garage. So we are at our last piece. We're last piece of music. Someone had commented earlier on that they were really enjoying the show tonight and they look forward to it, especially, you know, in these times of lockdown. So what I will promise is if we go back into lockdown, we'll maybe go back to Friday and Saturday night. How's that? It's looking as if we're going to have a lockdown again. And if we do, I'll try to do 2 nights a week to keep you all amused and entertained and laughing at all my mistakes. Now, this is our last clip this evening. It is not East Belfast Protestant Boys China. It is absolutely not. This is Drumderg Loyalists, Katie, playing actually again on the approach to Meningate. It's from 2017. They call the tune Prince of Wales, and I hope you enjoy this next clip. As I say, we'll be back again next Friday night. Make sure you join us. Keep an eye on Monday for the post on Facebook, which Viewer's Choice. Get in there quick. I'll be the first 26 or 27. I always try to play a few more on Viewer's Choice night. Until then, stay safe, stay COVID free, and keep the flutes to the moose, boys, because we're coming to the tune.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay. Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a feu de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass. There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.